took a screenshot, put up, and DML loves you back. And now it's my cover photo. And I love it. I love it. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, that was another gift. You guys keep on sending me gifts. God, I'm gonna have to declare all these gifts. There's so many of them. So thank you, Danielle. I appreciate it. You will now be on my cover photo for quite some time because I really don't change the cover photo too often. So here we go. All right, it's windy. So here's the deal today. I'm a little bit early as always because, well, I should say always this week, just trying to prepare to see what the heck is going on with this Facebook Live stuff. I had some of my other buddies who do live shows. No sense calling their names out simply because I prefer to just keep it quiet. But they were kicked off Facebook Lives. I don't know, this Facebook Lives, maybe they're having, it's not exclusive to yours truly, which is a good thing. And I don't know, either there's a total war on anybody who wants to voice their opinion on the conservative side, because I never hear liberals complaining about it, but then again, I don't talk to the liberals, or they don't talk to me. I would talk to them, but they don't call me. Nobody calls me. But in terms of being kicked off, maybe Facebook's having a real tough time. Maybe they're having a tough time trying to figure out how to mark the demand, how to prepare for the demand. And that's why people are just getting point blank kicked off. And that's a big problem. That's a business problem on their end. Facebook, come on, man. You could basically buy, you got your revenue outdoes the GDP of most countries. You can't figure this out? Come on, get with it. And if it isn't that, if it's just a blatant attack on just shutting down people, that is going to be detrimental long-term for your business. Either way, I'm just happy to be here with you. So DML, what do you got on the list today? We got some interesting stuff. I'm double-fisted here with all the different things we're going to talk about. But again, we are going to be a little abbreviated today. Oh, DML, I like it so much better when it's 1 hour. I know, me too. But we got to just do the half-hour thing today for a couple of reasons. Number one is because I'm doing tests. We're doing testing here to try to see what the best locations are. And I know the wind is heavy. I forgot my microphone again. But secondly, DML, in a rare event, is actually going away with his wife for one day. Get out of here, DML. Yeah, me and Miss Mary for like the first time in 4 years. Yeah. We're going to take a one-dayer. So tomorrow my walk and talk is going to be from a secret location. I'm not going to reveal it until tomorrow. Cool, DML. Yeah. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. But that's all you need to know. Anyway, let's get into it. Politics. All right, so with DML, what are you going to talk about? Because I want to know if I want to stick around for the full 5 minutes or a full half hour. What is it? We're going to do politics about Trump and a pick that I do not like. We're then going to go into a opinion about professors. And then we're going to talk about the hacking stuff with the CIA, and Obama, and the state of Georgia, and DHS. And then I'm going to tell you a story about CNN trying to nail General Michael Flynn, NSA now. Just trying to nail him for fake news on something that's very real. So anyway, let's get into it. Okay, Rudy Giuliani, our boy, no more. He's ABC, you later. DML, you upset about this? Of course I am, devastated. Absolutely devastated. What's driving it, DML? What's driving it? I'm not totally buying the story. Well, what is the story? Giuliani got on Fox and Friends and said, look, here's the deal, okay? I knew about this for a little while here. Back November 28th, I decided, hey, it's just not for me. And I dropped out. And why did I do that? Well, because, I seen that, Donald J. Trump, president-elect, he had some other good people on the list. And I took a look at, what I do in my business and how much money I make and all this different stuff. And thought he had some other pretty good people there. And I just decided that was the deal. Okay, now, I will never accuse Rudy Giuliani of lying. Ever. And you could actually see his full statement. It's on DennisMichaelLynch.com. It's towards the top. We just did it this morning. You can watch the video for yourself. And, so I'm not going to try to ad-lib for what he said. You could just watch it on your own. I have my own theories on this. And it's theory. All right? Here's a theory. I think it's one of two different things that happen. Well, first of all, it's very important to say that Rudy Giuliani said on television that they vetted him. They actually vetted him because he said, look, you should still vet me anyway, in case you ever want to bring me back to do something else. They vetted him and they said it came back completely squeaky clean. So when you take a look at that, right, let's say, you may recall in some of the conversations we've had that I've told you, hey, look, Maybe it's because they found something. They found something deep in within the bowels of his business dealings that they just say, hey, this could be a conflict of interest. Maybe we'll be in trouble. But he says that the vetting, I'm going to take him at his word, that the vetting came back as being clean. So here's two things. Well, actually three things. Number one, you can bet both your arms, both your legs. You can bet all the money in your banking account. Hopefully you have all things that I just mentioned. And you can guarantee that if there were a problem, you would not hear about it. Rudy Giuliani has too much class to get up on Fox and say anything that's going to be derogatory. So the fact of the matter is that we will forever speculate, and forever will probably end in about 20 minutes from now, on why this happened. I think it happened for one or two different reasons, and I've said this to you before. Either Rudy Giuliani, who has a very big ego, no question. His ego is different than Donald Trump. They've been friends for 30 years. But Rudy Giuliani, and I've been in the room with Rudy for a couple hours, interviewing him, having conversations, his ego's big. And so I remember him being at the Wall Street Journal. I think it was the Wall Street Journal. It was a Wall Street Journal event. And they were asking him about whether or not he wanted the job of Secretary of State. And he says, yeah, he thought he was the best guy for the job. He was very confident. When you got a full ego like that and you think you're getting the job, that's the way you talk. All right. So when Mitt Romney was brought into the mix, Rudy Giuliani could have felt like, are you kidding me? Donald J. Trump, are you kidding me? I traveled with you every single day all across the country. What are you doing, man? Where's the loyalty? I thought I had this job. And so he was turned off. And I said that to you. I said it to you. I said, look, Rudy Giuliani's going to turn around and say, wait a second. I'm making millions of dollars every year in my consulting business, my security consulting business, flying all around the place. And I'm only going to deal with this for so long. And that's it. That's number one. Or number two, it just came out that maybe there is something, a small little something, not bad, not criminal, absolutely not criminal, maybe just something that's going to raise eyebrows. And they just said, listen, man, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And Rudy says, hey, this is going to take too much attention and put too much attention on me, and it's going to false start you, Donald, and it's just not worth it. You got too many good guys in the lineup. Just go for one of them. And look, you know what? At the end of the day, I'd love to have this position to be really cool. I'd love it to be part of my legacy. But my goodness, I'm making so much money. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. If you ever need me, give me a call. So at the end of the day, Rudy Giuliani's out for all different positions. We'll never really know what the reason is truly. And it doesn't matter. What's more important is who is he going to pick. Now, I don't want to start getting into all the different pickers that we can pick from. I said that wrong. Pickies that we could pick from. But I do want to get into this. If Donald J. Trump, president-elect, man I am very proud to have voted for, picks somebody like he did for the Department of Labor, I'm going to be pissed. I am going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. And I'm telling you, I don't understand this pick. He picked the guy, he's the CEO for the restaurants Hardee's. You know Hardee's? And Carl Jr.'s, the fast food joints. That CEO of that company is now going to be the Department of Labor. And you say to me, DML, why are you bothered by that? I'll tell you why I'm bothered by that. This guy is totally pro mass immigration. Pro almost to the level of where I will go boldly and push the envelope a little bit here to say something that could come back and kick me in the groin. But I'd almost say he's to the point of pro illegal immigration. Really, DML? Yeah, really, DML. Well, why maybe you should say that? Cheat. Okay. First of all, his name is Andy, and I don't know if you say it Puzder or Puzder, but let's just call him Andy. Andy Hardee's. All right, Mr. Hardee's, all right, gave a few different speeches where he's talking about labor, and he was at this convention, and he gave a big, huge speech, and he said, when our restaurant owners, because it's a chain, right? So you franchise, you kind of buy into it. When our chain owners look at labor, the people in the Midwest and the Southeast, they look at California and say, that's the kind of labor pool I want. I don't know if you've been to California lately and seen the people who are working in Hardee's, etc. You know what I'm talking about. So that was one. And you say, all right, DML, that's not that big of a statement. But yeah, this guy actually backed the Gang of Eight bill. You remember that bill? Oh, the Gang of Eight bill. That sounds familiar, DML. What is that? That was the amnesty bill that Marco Rubio and Charles Schumer and a total of 8 senators, 4 from each side, put together, that basically was giving amnesty to all the illegal aliens in this country, eventually putting them on a pathway to citizenship. And this guy said that the Gang of Bill 8 wasn't going to hurt him at all as a CEO, and he actually thought that it had some pretty good provisions, except for the border security part. The border security part is, he said he thought it was unreasonable and a waste to double our Border Patrol agents. Wow, DML. Exactly. Now, because I always like to give you a little something that you didn't know before you tuned in, let me tell you 2 things that were in that Gang of 8 bill that will just make you say, really? This guy liked this thing? Yeah. Okay. First of all, the Gang of 8 bill said that you were ineligible for citizenship, the pathway to citizenship, if you in fact killed somebody. Oh, gee, that was big of them. Right, but here is the small text. Unless you killed somebody in a DWI accident or in an accident, in a car accident in general, then that would be a traffic infraction. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Then you'd still be eligible. Okay? Yeah. Number 2, you are ineligible if you cannot demonstrate that you have been actively pursuing work. Small print, right underneath. Unless you have been too busy caring for somebody who's elderly, caring for somebody who's disabled, caring for young children, or caring for a relative who is incapable of caring for themselves. So in other words, everybody was going to be eligible, because who doesn't have somebody like that in their life, especially the people who are coming over here. Please, this is the sort of bill that this thing was. This is the sort of bill that he was actually defending. This guy is a champion for cheap labor. He also is 110% against raising the minimum wage. Now, you and I have had this conversation before, and I told you, this may be one of those places where you may see DML moving a little bit to the center. And that's because I know that you on the other side of the phone, probably most of you, okay, who aren't business owners, are probably struggling to make ends meet. And everything in this country has increased in terms of its cost. Everything. There is nothing that has gone down. Every single cost has skyrocketed over the past 16 years, and over the past 8 years, it's been insane. When you take a look at that, and then you look at wages, all the wage growth for the past 8 years has gone to the top 1%. Yes, under President Barack Hussein Obama, 95% of wage growth has gone to the top 1%, thus leaving the middle class and the people who are down at poverty level basically not having a chance to scale up at all. How can we keep somebody at $7.50 an hour when milk has doubled on them? It's impossible. So am I thinking that we need to have $15 an hour Hardee's workers? No. But could we pull them up from $7.50 to $8? Just pull it up a little bit so this way people could actually survive in the cost of living, and maybe, oh, by the way, that they'll have to tap in a little less into the government assistance programs? Absolutely, yes. I would fight for that all day. A guy like him, Mr. Hardee's, is going to fight for it the other way. So I'm baffled, seriously baffled, by why it is that Donald Trump would pick this guy as the Department of Labor. I just don't understand it. Aside from the fact that this guy is a big, huge donor to the GOP, I just cannot understand how he got the position. I just don't hear enough from him. And it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. And I'm going to be on this like white on rice. So just want to let you know that. Next, we move into the opinion piece. DML, you're not that funny today. I'll tell you why. Because I am freezing my butt off. My hands right now, even though I have gloves from Mrs. Kelly, who sent them to me as a gift, I'm freezing. And it's not funny about that. In fact, I can't even feel my legs. So let's go on to the opinion piece. All right, DML, hit us with something. Yeah. Okay. So this kid in his college dorm room. You may have seen, I'm sorry, in his college, he's in a college classroom, right? He starts taping his professor on the cell phone. The professor doesn't know he's doing this, right? This guy is going on the biggest anti-Donald Trump rant that you've ever heard, ever. And this guy tapes it. So he gives it over to the Orange County College Students Republicans Club, or whatever it is. You know how these kids all have their clubs. Well, it's the Republican Club. They give it to them. These kids post it online, and they are threatened by the educators union that they're going to get sued. Publicly write it. Then what do? They take it down, and they're denying that they ever did it. But this kid's got the screenshots, etc. So what did this teacher say? Cheat sheet. Because I didn't want to let any of this stuff go. I did not want to forget any of it, because I'm listening to the tape, I'm watching the video. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. I cannot believe that this teacher is not fired. If this was a conservative teacher saying anything bad about Hillary Clinton, they'd be gone. They'd be forced to be resigned. They would be forced to get out. People would be burning down buildings. Black Lives Matter would be chanting up and down, attacking people. But because this is a liberal, and from what I can ascertain in what he said, not only a liberal, but he's gay. Because he's a gay liberal teacher, nothing's going to be done about this. You ready? He tells his classroom that the Trump cabinet is filled with white supremacists and a vice president who is one of the most anti-gay humans in the country. Okay? Goes on, and I'm just giving you some of the highlights. I didn't want to write the whole thing down. Our country is divided. We have been assaulted. It's an act of terrorism. It's an act of terrorism that Donald J. Trump was elected president. Can you believe that? You know what? I wish I had this guy in front of me. An act of terrorism? I'll tell you what an act of terrorism is. An act of terrorism is when 19 hijackers take over a plane and crash it into buildings. So this way, innocent mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and neighbors and kids and you name it, die at the hands of Islamic jihadists. That's terrorism. Terrorism is when you're out one night and you're dancing at a club and some guy comes in the name of Allah and shoots you to smithereens. Terrorism is when somebody turns around and crosses the border and takes your daughter and rapes her time and time again and then chops her up and puts her into a box. Yeah, go see They Come to America 1. You'll get that one. Yeah, that's terrorism. Terrorism is not when a man gets up at the GOP convention and for the first time pulls a gay man onto the stage and says, "Here, speak in a prime spot on prime television." That's what that man, Donald J. Trump, did. That is not terrorism. Okay? Teaching these kids this garbage. And assaulted? You've been assaulted? I'll tell you what the assault is. When you're driving your car and you get pulled out of your car by 8 black thugs who start beating the living crap out of you because you voted for a man. That is assault. The videos of the assault in this country aren't of conservatives beating liberals to a pulp. It's the other way around. Now that I've got that out of my case, let's move on with the next statement this brainiac had to say. Okay? One of the most frightening things for me and people in my life is that people creating the assaults are people among us, attacking our sense for what it means to be an American. What are you talking about? Why are we paying people like this to educate our kids? Why? This is why you got people out there burning down buildings, throwing rocks through buildings, saying, "Take the American flag off my college," because they hear this crap. This crap. What we stand for? Standing for closed and secured borders at our southern and northern border is bad. Standing for veterans, standing for people to be able to actually live the American dream, to protect our women and children. That's not what are we supposed to stand for? To stand for looking at our flag and realizing the fact that it's exceptionalism flying high. What is it? What is it that we actually stand for that's bad? Please, first person, come up and tell me what is bad. I haven't heard it yet. And then he concludes, our nation is divided as it was in the Civil War. Really? This guy's teaching. Has anybody told him about the Civil War? Has anybody ever told him about that? So is this guy going back and saying things like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, you remember black people being whipped and chained and just basically killed? Are we trying to just even closely say that we're somewhere like that? The reason why we're divided is because President Barack Hussein Obama divided the country with his hateful BS, anti-white, anti-police, anti-military, anti-American worker rhetoric. That's why we're divided. And you know what? President Donald J. Trump will bring this country back together. He may not be picking the best picks, and I'm still bothered about it because I don't understand how it is that we're going to empower the American worker with a guy who looks to empower the cheap labor. But let's get past that. Let's say Donald Trump sat him down and said, listen, I love your Hardee's burgers. They've made me kind of like this, and that's why I'm going to put you in here. But that whole rhetoric thing you were talking a couple of years ago about the cheap labor and stuff, it ain't going to fly with me. You willing to kick that to the curb like a bad batch of French fries? And maybe he turned around and said, and maybe Andy said, oh, bells. Thank you. I hit it on the head. Maybe Andy said, yes, Mr. President, I will do whatever it is you ask me of. He says, all right, I want to empower the American worker. So start getting that smart guy in you to say American workers first. More pay for American workers. And less of this garbage about the Gang of Eight. You get it? Yes, Mr. President. I had a brain fart at the time. And maybe that's it. Let's hope that's the case. Because if it's not, I'm going to be pissed off. I've already said that. Let's move on. As DML can barely feel his fingers. That's all right. If I lose my fingertips, you guys are going to send me new ones in the mail, right? Because that's what you do every day. We got so many gifts yesterday. Mary actually had to come home yesterday they gave her a United States Postal Service bin to put all the boxes in. I haven't even been able to get to the stuff yet. I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? So, I mean, I love you guys. You're the best. You're the best. Okay. The topic of the day. Topic of the day. And by the way, you heard the bells, right? Yeah. I'm a little early. So the bells, yeah. Well, you heard the bells. I hope you heard the bells. I heard the bells. Okay. The Michigan judge, Stein, Mrs. Stein, you know her, right? The one who raised all the money, is trying to dethrone Donald Trump. Guess what happens? Judge is like, out! You're out! Get out of here! Bye! No recount, no appeal, go away. Go away, Miss Stein. So she's done. She's done. She's just going to be an asterisk somewhere in this election. It'll be like, and then there was Jill Stein. Who? Exactly. See you later. And you know what? She should really return all that money. She should return that money. So you know what the audacity USA Today had today? They said that because Michigan won't give her the recount, they should actually give her a refund. Her? A refund? About face, forward march. Her refund? Are you kidding? What about... Hey. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for me having these people here with me today in this glorious, freezing, cold day. What did you say, Al Gore? Something's melting? No. We're freezing, man. Al Gore, if you think that we have a problem with the weather, come here and try to talk to your friend DML. It's not even cold yet. Yeah. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So cold. So cold. All right. So let's get back to the next stuff. The hot stuff. DML, you're off your game. Yeah, you try doing this. State of Georgia. State of Georgia. Right? So the state of Georgia is hanging back. They're like, hey, wait a second. I think somebody's trying to break into our into our systems. Who could it be? So they get this little notice, you know? What does that mean, DML? How could they tell? Okay, it's sort of like, you know, if you're in your house and you hear somebody like rattling all the different doors, you're going around, you're like, wait a second, somebody's trying to open the doors. Well, by the time you get to the door, they may know you were coming, so they got out. Or they couldn't figure out how to get in. But you know somebody tried to break in. Sorry, somebody tried to call me. I hate when they try to call me. They try to call me and it stops the feed. So anyway, go back to what we were saying. So it's like somebody trying to rattle the door. And you're like, wait a second. I know somebody tried to get in here. That's the same way. So what happened was the firewalls and the server systems that protect basically the voter registrations and voter data on these servers for the state of Georgia was try to be hacked in. They tried to penetrate, okay? They tried to shake the door open. So when they went and took a look at who it was, sort of like the same way that you could go outside and be like, wait a second, there's a size 12 footprint outside. Okay, this guy's got to be 6'5". You start doing an identification like that. That's what an IP address is, all right? An IP address basically points back to where it's coming from. So when you send something, when you log on to Facebook, they can get your IP address. They know if it's you. So let's say, for instance, you live in Kentucky and somebody tries to take and hack into your account and they're coming from Colorado. Facebook will be like, whoa, wait a second. Unless Gloria is traveling to Colorado, we have ourselves a potential hack. That's how it works. So they do it by IP address. Now, when they looked back at the IP address, they saw that it pointed back to the Department of Homeland Security. DML. Are you saying that the government tried to hack into the state of Georgia? Yeah. What? DML. We can't have that sort of thing. This is all Obama. I knew it. Now listen, it could be one of two different things. Maybe three. Let's go down. What's number one? Gotta say this quietly. There could be operatives here. Because this is, you know, I'm gonna change the name of this block to Liberal Lane. There are more liberals on this block than you can shake a stick at. Yeah, they leave their leaves in the middle of the street. Although I'll tell you what, there are no leaves out here today. But I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something right now. We're gonna watch this guy, you and me. We're gonna watch him every single day. Look, you ready? Look. Leaves, see? Can you see the leaves? I don't know if you can see the leaves. Yeah, he's got the leaves on his driveway. You know, I'm thinking by another day or two, they're gonna be down here in the street. And you know what? If they do, I'm gonna go knock on the door. You want me to knock on the door? DML, go knock on the door. Raise hell, DML. You know it. I'm tired of it. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So it could be one of two different things. It could be number one, that a hacker, a real life hacker, somebody who's really mean and looking to do the bad stuff, they actually made it appear as if the IP address was back to the DHS. What do you mean, DML? How does that happen? All right, let's go back to the whole try to break into your door analogy, right? So let's say, for instance, my shoe size is only size 8. I really want to throw you off and the cops off. So what I do is I go out and I buy myself a pair of size 12 boots, put those on, obviously stuff it with some socks, and put them in the boot, and I start walking around, throwing everybody off. Couldn't have been Lynch. He's got a size 8. This is size 12. Get it? Throws him totally off. All right, DML, you explain this stuff to me better than anybody else. It's because I love you. It's because I love you, you know? Daynell puts out a sign. I told you this in the very beginning, if you're coming in late. Yeah, she puts out a sign in a Trump rally. Daynell loves DML. DML's always going to love you back. Always going to love you back. That's the whole thing about love. It's a two-way street. So, anyhow, and what's now? When it's a one-way street, it's hurtful. It's painful. It's like, oh, I love you. I don't love you back. Oh, how many times has that happened in your life? Fortunately for me, never. Only had this one woman named Miss Mary, who's missing in action. You know, no way she's coming out on a day like today. No way. All right, so the second opportunity here, that chance it could be, is somebody went rogue at the DHS. Now, that's the excuse they're giving anyway. That's what the DHS is saying. Yeah, well, it very well could have been us. But, we think it might be a rogue employee. Let me tell you, that's code for cover up. Yes, that's what it is. Code for cover up. Throw them off. What do we say? What do we do? They caught us. Ooh, let's blame it on somebody rogue. Gotta throw somebody on the bus. That's what we do as a government. We throw one person under the bus. We'll blame it all on them. You remember how we did that to that guy who we said created the video from Benghazi? That crazy online video, which wasn't so crazy because like only 12 people watched it. Remember how we said that was all about Benghazi? Let's blame it on the video. Found out it wasn't the case. So same thing. Now, why would the DHS, DML, why would they want to go in and check out stuff on Georgia? I don't know. First of all, we got to remember that Jay Johnson, who is a raging liberal and in bed with Barack Hussein Obama, and who, by the way, Jay Johnson has actually gone to Muslim events sponsored by CARE, and people who were tied to the Muslim Brotherhood got up on stage not so long ago, maybe 6 months ago, and said, I want to let you know it is your time here in America. Ooh. Really, DML? I didn't know about that. Yeah, because some of you have only caught on to me in the last month. Where have you been for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 months? Where are you? You weren't watching me on Newsmax. So anyway, yeah. So this guy, who knows why? Because Georgia, if you remember correctly, with all these pundits and pollsters and CNNers and even Fox News, you're guilty too, was all saying Georgia was going to be blue. Yeah, right. So they're like, probably, all right, what can we do to make sure it's blue? What do we do? I don't know. It's just, let me tell you something. This smells. It smells ugly. Then if you want things to really smell ugly, almost like it's as if Michael Moore sat down at the kitchen table with you. Okay, what would happen now? Let me tell you about this. CIA coming out with, we have determined that the Russians were definitely involved in, hacking and swaying the election in favor of Donald J. Trump. Oh, please. Really? We're going back to this again. And Obama's like, I gotta leave with some sort of fire. I've knocked over all the China in the China cabinet. There's nothing left. What else could I do? CIA. All right, I want a full report on my desk before I leave. Right at the time of the inauguration. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. You clueless. You guys are looking at the wrong problem here. The wrong problem. You're sitting here, Russia, they cracked into the DNC, but they also cracked in their RNC, and then they gave it to WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks put out all the stuff about Hillary, but didn't put anything about the RNC. Well, maybe it was because there wasn't the sort of stuff in the RNC emails that there were in the DNC emails. Maybe you didn't have Sean Hannity saying, "Hey Donald, I'll give you five questions in advance." Remember, like Donna Brazil? Yeah. Maybe it was, the RNC didn't have, "Hey, let's attack Ted Cruz and get him out of the way," like they did to Bernie Sanders. Maybe that's why. Maybe there was nothing to put out. Maybe even the Russians were like, "Holy cow, this chick Hillary's worse than we thought. We got to give this to somebody." That's what they want to blame it on Russian hacking, as if that swayed the election, as if you weren't going to vote for Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio. You were going to actually vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton, but it was the WikiLeaks email. It was the WikiLeaks. You're like, oh my God, up until now I thought Hillary was good. No, you know what the WikiLeaks did? The WikiLeaks let us know that Hillary Clinton was taking in money from terror-laden governments who are also funding ISIS. Why aren't we focusing on that? Why isn't Barack Hussein Obama doing something on that? Why aren't we really focusing on the fact that we are allowing government officials to just run amok with our money, to run amok with our safety? Why aren't we focusing on that? Why are we focusing on thinking that the Russians actually swayed this election? You want to know why? Let me tell you why. It's for the same reason that you can't figure out where the hell your keys are, right? Where are your keys? I can't find my keys. So what do? You go in and you yell at your wife. "Margaret, where'd you put my keys?" "I didn't touch your keys, Sam." "You did. I put them on the table. and now they're gone. Honey, you sure they're not in your pocket? Why don't you check all your pockets? I'm not checking my pockets again. I already did it. Every single time. And then you come up with, honey, I just checked your pocket and the keys are in the jeans. You switched my jeans. I'm telling you I wasn't wearing those jeans yesterday. You did it. You put them back. Yeah? Because you feel like such a schmuck that you lost your keys and you couldn't remember the fact that you didn't lose your keys, but you really put them in your pocket. Remember that? And you're like, oh my God, I feel like such a fool. I had to blame everybody else but myself. Yeah, the Democrats just can't get their hands around the idea that they lost the election because they're the ones who had the emails going back and forth that shouldn't have been going back and forth. They're the ones who threw the American workers out of the bus. They're the ones who turned around and, oh, by the way, nominated a woman who had a private email server. Oh, yeah, and by the way, was also with a husband who's corrupt and put a cigar. Hey, there's Mama. Hey, Mama Lynch, I'm still going. Hey, sweetheart, I'm still going. I'm almost done. I'll walk a little more. Just give me 2 more minutes. Don't put pressure on me. I don't know, man. 2 more minutes, okay? See what I'm talking about? She lost my keys. She's waiting for me because we had to cut early today. She's anxious. She wants to go. So anyway, I'll wind it up here. I think you get the point. All right? Now, last thing, because I don't want to shortchange you. She drove off. She left me alone. That's her way of saying to me, I'm pissed. You said you were going to end at the church. But I didn't end at the church. It was a good conversation. I had to tell you stuff. It's more important. Yeah, we could wait. We're not going to miss anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a homebody, man. I'd rather stay at home anyway. Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm a total homebody. Yeah. What are we talking about? DML. You got thrown off your game. Yeah, only temporarily so. Okay. So you get it. So this whole CIA thing, coming back, the elections, all this other stuff, DML, is it going to mean anything? It's going to mean bupkis. It's bupkis. It's nothing. What does bupkis mean? It means nothing. Nothing. DML tells you all the time. And you know you can bank on it. All right, but DML, I'm still getting a little nervous because we're approaching that whole deadline where the electors have to actually, say, I do. Can you tell us about that? Yes, I can. Here is what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, DML is going to have a walk and talk. We're probably without the walk because I'm not going to be in a situation where I can walk. So I will give you a talk. I rhymed. And we will focus exclusively on this whole elector thing. I'm going to tell you about who we choose, how we choose them, who they are, what they do, the whole process. You'll be like, DML, I'm the smartest person around the kitchen table again. And I could go to my liberal Lenny, the school bus driver who I have to look at every day and be like, this kid drives my kid. And you can tell him, oh yeah, by the way, let me tell you what I learned. And then Lenny's going to be done. You call your socialist sister Sally and you'd be like, yeah, listen, socially. That's a good name, socially. And you can tell her, listen, here's what I know about the electors. And here's why it is that you better just start practicing saying President Donald J. Trump. And you know what I'm going to get you, Sally, for Christmas? Assuming that you celebrate Christmas, I'm going to get you a picture of Donald J. Trump for right over the mantle. And I would like it every time that I come to your house, you put it up there and respect my president. Okay? Yeah? Okay, fine. So that's that. Now, let's get into story time. It's going to be an abbreviated story because DML can not now feel 8 of his 10 fingers. Okay, here it is. General Michael Flynn, I like him. He might be a little bit out there. But, when I say a little bit out there, he's not tidy in terms of keeping his words tight. He sort of like yours truly. If he wants to say something, it's coming out. So he was on an interview with Breitbart Radio going back, and they were talking about the people coming across the border, who's coming across the border, the danger of it all. And Flynn said that he had seen signs along the border down in South Texas where they were written in Arabic telling people where to go. And so now CNN is running this whole thing, this anti-General Flynn, part of the whole fake news campaign. Okay, so does CNN try to research to see whether or not there were any of these signs? Does CNN research to see whether or not, there have been any other reports maybe on Fox News or anywhere else? No, they just go and say, yeah, so he said there were these signs in Arabic And he did not show any proof of this. And they leave it at that. DML, what's the big deal? I'll tell you what the big deal is. The big deal is that CNN, although their ratings are very low, and oh, by the way, they're trying to get Megyn Kelly to come over, which means that their ratings will even go lower. But they are, they're a powerhouse online. Powerhouse, okay? I've told you this, they get double the amount of traffic that FoxNews.com does. So all those clips that you don't see on television because you don't watch them, they're going online and they're being seen. And people are believing it. And they're not worried about the fact that the end of the sentence was never made, such as, and by the way, CNN has not confirmed either way whether or not these signs exist. All right? Now, yours truly shows you, and They Come to America too, for those of you who have already seen it and have been blown away by it. DML shows you that there are signs in the desert along the southern part of Texas. 8 of them. Distress signal beacons that tell you if you're having trouble, press the button. And they are written in English, Spanish, and Chinese. Now, I have never seen them written in Arabic, all right? That doesn't mean they aren't written in Arabic now, all right? It doesn't mean there's not another sign there written in Arabic. But those signs do exist. And if CNN was a real news outlet, if they really cared about getting the real news out, what they would have said is, there are signs indeed helping illegal aliens and pointing them where to go, and that are written in different languages, including Chinese. But they didn't do that. So what they do is they try to make General Flynn look like a total maniac. You get it? You get it? Yes, DML, we get it. We thank you so much. Go inside, DML. You're going to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. I'm just not going to have any fingers left. So, I part with you on this. Fake news, as I told you the other day, it is going to be the machine gun for the left. It's the only thing they have left. Same thing. I combine this where I left off before I seen Miss Mary parked on the side. When you don't have any excuse for your own mistakes, when you don't have any excuse for why things have gone awry in your campaign, in your business, in your life, in your marriage, what have you, because you don't want to take the acceptance, you don't want to take the liability yourself, you don't want to point the finger at yourself. Remember this saying, if you don't know this already, when you point the finger at something, 3 fingers point back. Okay? So, when you don't have anywhere else or anyone else to blame, you come up with cockamamie stories, unless you are somebody like Dennis Michael Lynch or Ronald Reagan, or we'll see if Donald Trump does that sort of thing, or maybe you, if you're a person who has integrity and you say, yeah, you know what, I screwed up, I made a mistake, we made a mistake, and this is why it is. Instead of doing that, like Obama and Hillary, what you do is you put out these things like, yeah, we're going to have the CIA now look into the fact that the Russians twisted the election. Even if the Russians did get those emails and gave them over to WikiLeaks, at the end of the day, is that what it is? And you think I'm cold? Look at her, freezing. She's freezing. All you can see is this. Reminds you of something, right? That's it, freezing. So at the end of the day, do you blame the messenger or the message? What Obama's trying to do is he's trying to blame the messenger. He's trying to divert everybody's attention to something happened here that was tricky. No. People elected based on what they knew in their heart and what they knew in their wallet and they knew in their brain was right. And actually, although I love Donald J. Trump, president-elect, we didn't really have 2 good candidates to choose from this time. We had 2 people who had a lot of baggage, who have a lot of scars, but one had a far better message than the other one did. And that's why he won, especially in those states that were typically blue. Not because of the Russians at all, whatsoever. That's it. And that's why you get these stupid things that Obama's trying to pull out now with the CIA, and that's why you get CNN coming up with fake news. That's why you've got all these social media places and even Google trying to just divert and squash down anything that is remotely against the liberal narrative. That is your buddy DML pointing it out to you point blank. If you don't get it, you need to get your head out of the sand. You know I wanted to say something else, but it's a family show. Maybe I'll do it again. You've got to get your head out of your, say it, buttocks. All right, that concludes the walk and talk. I am officially freezing. I think Mama Lynch, also known as Miss Mary, also known as the love of my life, also known as the boss of the house, also known as the person who just keeps on going to the post office and say, oh my goodness, Dennis, there's another 5 gifts. I think she's on her way. Nope, that's not. That's somebody else with the same color car. I guess I'm walking in the cold. Oh my God, it's so cold. DML, you went much more further than a half hour. I know. I'm addicted to you guys. I'm addicted to love. Yeah, I'm addicted to love. Might as well face it. I'm addicted to love. Boom, choom. Yeah. So anyway, all right. I'd sing another song, but I'm so cold. You're so cold. You probably think this weather's about you. You're so cold. You probably think your toes are about you, don't you? Don't you? Huh. What else can we sing? DML, you a little bored? Yeah, I'm alone. I'm alone in the cold. I'm alone in the cold. What other songs? Anybody have a song down there? Come on. Anybody have a song? Give me a song. Send gifts to Tennessee, not to DML. They need it. Okay. I guess you could send your walking stick to Tennessee. Any particular postage place we should do? I'll send it. I'll send it. I'll send it. What else did I get? I don't know if the people of Tennessee right now need face cream. But if they did, and you want it there, your buddy DML will forward the package on, believe me. What do we have? Cigar? I don't know, cigar. Is that a song? Do we have another cigar? Laugh out loud. Keep your job talking to us, Dennis. Keep your job talking to us. All right, laugh out loud. Cold as ice. Oh, yeah, who did that? Tony. What is that? That was, who sang that song? You're as cold as ice, willing to make the sacrifice, my love. Right? Was that who it was? You're as cold as ice, willing to make the sacrifice to talk. All right, what else? Our numbers are dropping. People don't like my singing. What else? Come to the Poconos. You know what, Lynn? I love the Poconos. Crazy golf courses up there, man. You tee up, you know, and you're like, where's the hole? And you walk up and you look down the mountain and it's down at the end. You're like, I think I just need a putter for this. And it goes down. I don't know what that is. Over in the Poconos, I used to do that. Walking in Winter Wonderland. I don't know. Winter Wonderland. I'm gonna have to look. I know the song. I don't know the words. Oh my God, you got me. You stumped me. What else we have? Foreigner. Yes, Foreigner sang that one. Foreigner. Oh, Ice, Ice Baby. Yeah, Kathy, what's that? Oh, Ice, Ice Baby, too cold. What was it? Take a hold, too cold. Ice, ice. Oh my God, I used to know all this stuff back when I was young. That was a long time ago. Oh, Ice, Ice Baby, took a hold, too cold. Yeah, something to that point, right? Keep your day job. This is my day job. Well, part of it anyway. What do we got? Come to Port Huron, Canada. Listen, Canada is freezing. Freezing. I told you about that one, right? You see it in the DVDs. Oh, by the way, I'm telling you right now, DVD cutoff. I was on the phone last night with the DVD guy. He's like, DML, no more DVDs, man. Can't do it anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, can't do it. I am not. We're overloaded. We're overloaded. You're giving away these things for free, man. You're doubling me. For every order, I got to come up with 2. These people are good people. What do you want me to do? I want you to stop. I said, I'm not stopping. He said, well, they're not going to get it by Christmas. I said, all right, well, that's a problem then. I said, what are we going to do? He says, you got to cut it off. When am I going to cut it off? Cut it off on Sunday. So I'm telling you right now, if you haven't gotten your DVDs and you want your DVDs, it's not like the DVDs are going to go away and I can't, say like, yeah, we've got them later. But they ain't going to be $20 and I ain't going to be giving you 2 for free, 2 of every single one. It was my generosity of giving back to you for giving to me. So, DennisMichaelLynch.com at the top of the films. That's it. DML, I haven't got my tracking number yet. Listen, we just got a whole load of tracking numbers. All right? We just got a whole load. Most of everything is on its way. It takes almost up to 10 days for the United States Postal Service right now. They're dragging their feet. So you'll get them, I promise you. And if by like the last weekend before Christmas you haven't gotten it, you reach out to me and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to FedEx all these things. But we'll do it. Doesn't matter. All right? What else? DML, message me ASAP. Probably not going to do that. All right? I think I'm going to be going with Mama. You know? That's it. You want to send us an email? We'll definitely 100% read your email. but I'm not gonna be messaging to anybody. All right, my goodness, I gotta have a little bit of a life. I'm another email. Daddy, you gonna watch a movie with me? I'm doing emails. Please, Daddy. I'm like, all right. So once in a while. All right, can I come, Maria? I don't know what that is. I don't get it. Liberals are rewriting "Baby, It's Cold Outside." Oh yeah, because baby, it's cold outside. Right, we got that one. Do you still think there will be a lot of snow? What do you think, or do you still do your walls? Wait, I lost you. I'd love to work for someone like you. Must be the best boss. It's fun. It is fun. Fun. If you're not having fun, it's not worth it. No money. In fact, I was on the phone last night. Hey, Karina. I was on the phone last night with somebody who just started working for us. She's like, I'm not sure if I'm a writer, this and that. I'm like, listen, you want to have fun? This is where it is. She's like, okay. That was it. Call me. Philip, no, I'm not going to call you. Because on top of that, I don't even know your number. Okay, on top of that, Comfortably Numb. Is that a song? I don't know. You're the best. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest I know. I think I'm combining two songs. That was Tina Turner, right? You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. I don't believe that. I'm no better than anybody else. You are a pleasure to listen to and watch. Thanks, DML. Well, thank you. Having fun listening. I'm going to faint. He read my messages. Did I read it? All right. Go, Dennis. Go, Marty. I could hold your phone while you walk. Really, Carla? How are you going to do that? Because first of all, I'm a super fast walker. I'm usually like this. And Miss Mary's like, wait! And you guys scream at me, wait for Mary, wait for Mary. I'm like, wait a second, I'm talking about Obama. Aren't you listening to Obama? I don't care about Obama, wait for Mary. I get it all the time. So now I'm starting to get into the slow walk. Never going to lose my weight. Yes, Tina Turner. Yes, Helen. All right, what? Comfortably Numb is a Pink Floyd song. Didn't know that. The only Pink Floyd song I really know is Another Brick in the Wall. I love that song. Ohio here. Missed you today while on the road. Well, Emma, pull over. All right, who do we have? Pamela, he will. Just send it to wetrustdml@gmail.com. Whatever it is, yeah, do it. That's where we go. That's where the email goes. All right, laugh out loud, says Suzanne Kalb. Hey, Suzanne. I have my windows open here in Florida. Thanks a lot, April. Way to rub it in, friend. I have my windows open too. Look, windows to the world. All right. I tape your phone to the back of my head. I walk faster. Nice. Nice. I like that. I like that. You're a keeper. All right. Mary, Mary. Mary, Mary. Why you bugging? That's another good one. Yep. No more. Something About Mary. Good movie. It's all about my wife. Don't tell anybody. All right. Crossing the street. Hit by a car. Boom. Oh. Imagine. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Somebody had to get their bumper fixed. Because I ain't going down. All right. CNN clip. What do we got? What is Loretta Lynch doing so quiet in the background, DML? Listen, the only thing I share with that woman is the last name. And it hurts me. Hurts me. She's almost gone too. It's almost over. The party's over. What do we have? Losing viewers when you ramble. Kathy, guess what? I don't care. I already gave you the beef. Okay? For the people who come in at the end and you don't like it and you don't like the rambling, guess what? Facebook has a billion people. I'm sure somebody else right now is on Facebook Live doing something. Hit the X out of DML and go see RST or BLT. Anybody have initials in a Facebook Live show? Just do it. I already gave you everything. What else do you want to know? CIA investigating something that doesn't really exist. And I don't like the Department of Labor guy because he loves cheap labor. And what else did I tell you about? I told you about a professor who just was out of his mind giving anti-Trump stuff to his kids. And now the kids are being threatened for a lawsuit for taping it. And then what else did I tell you? Probably told you something else. Rewind the tape. And I'm going to compete. You know, every time you say to me something like that, I'm going to ramble more. Yep. I'm going to ramble more. Here we go. I love listening to you always. Well, thank you, Dawn. I love reading you. Terry Nichols. Betty Boyles says, where is Mary? Mary, I told you, is the brains of the organization. She's right now sitting at home, crackling fire, sitting back in the lazy chair. Meanwhile, I'm like, Obama. What else we have? Have a good day, man. Gotta go. Tractor Supply. Go get him, Gene. Go get him. Ha ha. You are so great. Enjoy your weekend with Mary. Well, thank you, Jackie. You crack me up. You crack me up. There's a, you lift me up. Right? You crack me up. What about this song? We talked about Georgia today, right? Georgia? Not this one. One of my favorites. Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. He was looking to make a deal. When he saw this boy up on a hungry stump, said, tell you what. Skip the words a little. Bet you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too, and if you care to make a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play a pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I got a fiddle of gold to get your soul. Say I'm better than you. Bam, 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 bam. Boy say, my name is Johnny, and it may be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret, cause I'm the best as ever been. Bam, 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 rising up your bow. Yeah, I love that song. Yeah, devil went down to Georgia. We gotta put that, we gotta do like a mock song of that. Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a server to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind. Obama wanted to steal. I don't know, I'll come up with something. All right, Devil went down to Georgia. Yes, Boston. What else we got? Look at this. Charlie Daniels. Yeah, Charlie Daniels band. Yeah. Oh, what do you say? How does that song end? There's yeah, bam 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 bam. They say, what do you say, Bonnie? You're pretty good, old son. No, whatever. Oh, I don't remember. Should remember something. Hey, Tammy, what's going on? Great tune. It's a great tune. What else great tunes are there? Yeah, you know, change gears a little bit. What about this tune from Harry Chapin? Harry Chapin was great. It was little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll be together then. Yeah, you know we'll have a good time then. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, we'll get together then. Love that song. You know we'll have a good time then. That guy Harry Chapin from Long Island died on the Long Island Expressway in a car crash. Sad day. All right, big Springsteen fan? Oh, no way. Listen, if you're from New York and New Jersey, there are two things you fight about. Number one is, who do the Jets and the Giants belong to? Because they're both called the New York Jets and the New York Giants, and yet they play in a New Jersey stadium. A little bit confusing. Just trying to throw everybody off, I guess. It is a pain in the neck to get to those stadiums, and that's why I'd rather watch it on TV, although I don't watch it on TV anymore because they will not respect my flag, the NFL, and I have boycotted it. The second thing we fight about is whether or not Bruce Springsteen is better than Billy Joel. And anybody with common sense knows that Billy Joel is much better than Bruce Springsteen. And that is despite the fact that Billy Joel, much like Bruce Springsteen, is an Obama fan. But I think it's fitting to end this program, because I got to start jogging. Mama's going to get mad. End this program with a Billy Joel song. It reflects something that you guys say you like about me. Ready? Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. But honesty is hardly ever heard. Didn't get that one right. But mostly what I need from you. I can find a lover. I can find a friend. I can find security until the bitter end. And it's bitter cold. Anyone can comfort me with promises, and then I know I know. Up. Here comes Mama Lynch. Gotta go. She still sees I'm hanging out with you. I'm in trouble. Bye. God bless everybody. God bless America. God bless our troops. God bless the sun. Mama Lynch. She smiled. She's not upset. Was trying to hit the finish button. Couldn't do it. Glove. Note to Mrs. Kelly. Glove doesn't exactly work on the thumbs. Fingers it works. No thumbs though. Couldn't hit the button. Had to take it off. See? Now my hand is officially frozen. All right. See you later. See you tomorrow. All about the electors. All right. Yep. Miss Mary will be to me tomorrow. Probably be having eggs and bacon. Not good for my heart. In bed. At the hotel. She'll be like, they don't want to see me. I'll say, yeah, they do. All right. It'll be fun tomorrow. Maybe a little bit out there. Keep the kids out from the camera.